Hey, welcome back to another annual Turkey Awards with hockey coach Frenchy directly for the beautiful country of the Kingdom Animal and Thailand on amazing great Thursday night, November 27, 2025. Hopefully you have a great day with all the food you got on the table for all the people in the USA. It's a football day, of course, 3 games on the NFL, and it's a family day. It's a friends day. It's also traveling week for many people around the USA. I've been there for many times. The Thanksgiving and nothing open. A little bit better now, but in the past, my first time I was in USA. I was in Roanoke, Virginia, for the Express and the East Coast Hockey League. I did not know what's going on, honestly, but I thought Hooters was open. So I was going to Hooters after the game, but no Hooters after the game. Nothing to do about that, but it's a learning. It's a great event. So I've been there for 25 years, so no, it's an important day. It's maybe the biggest day compared to Christmas. I think for USA, it's maybe the biggest holidays. Of course, tomorrow, all the shopping stuff is going happening, and USA also. Now with online, you can make a lot of shopping online, so that be save a lot of money for all the people. But tonight we have a special edition of the annual awards for the Turkey. It's the fifth edition right now. That's crazy when you think about that. We're going to tell you what's happening the first 4 years, and we're going to tell you exactly what could happen tonight. And don't miss it because we have a lot of great panel with me tonight, a special edition. Of course, it's just have a good time on the Thanksgiving. No hockey game in NHL. So honestly, this is the night to just have a good time here. And you can participate. You can join us live. You can ask questions. The first maybe 45 minutes, we're going to a little bit more review the NHL, the standing, the wall race. It's a crazy race this year, not only on standing, but it's a crazy season about different things. And was many things was not predicted at the beginning of the season by many of us. We are wrong, but we'll see what happening about that. So we welcome everybody. Thanks to be a part of the show. Of course, before we welcome everyone in the panel, we're going to welcome all of you. Thanks, Billy, to be with us. Ovidio knocked the door. We have, of course, RJ Calabro, Stand the Man, welcome. And we have LDP. LDP, hopefully doing well. Glad to see you, my friend. RJ with all the stuff. RJ, hopefully you did not eat too much turkey today. RJ, for you, you exercise every day and you do all your push-ups. So with the turkey, it's not a good thing to do that. Yamo Papis, Yamo from Finland. Welcome back, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Reggie from Mont-Laurier. Reggie, no turkey tonight for you. Claude Richard from Ottawa, welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Tony DeMarc, welcome back. Who won the Golden Turkey? We're going to see that the next 2 hours. And of course, an annual edition of the Turkey Awards. It cannot be happened without many people, and of course they are back for another time this year, and they are ready to check who's going to be the winner, and we're going to welcome all of them. They are here, sit at the green room, and they just finished the makeup for all of you. More for enough tap, take more time for fix enough tap the green room, but now he's going to be ready, and of course we welcome enough tap. We welcome Marco Larabe, and we welcome Randy Walkman. They are in the house tonight.
Good evening, gentlemen. We're back at the annual Turkey Award celebrations. A lot of surprises last couple of years. Who knows what's on tap for this year, guys?
Marco, you are mute.
You never sound better, Marco.
Yeah, I probably sound better that way, but good. I had such a good opening line too, but I won't. It won't be as transparent or as good if I do it the second time. So happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends. Very exciting to be back, Coach, for another Turkey Awards.
Yeah.
In my mind, I call it always the Kotkaniemi Award because I always think of Kotkaniemi. That's the picture in my head when I think of the
He might
Turkey
win
Awards.
again this year.
Yeah, he could be eligible almost every year, but we'll maybe he'll be like a Hall of Fame member of the Turkey Awards. But interesting to see. Like you said, Coach, very strange, very weird season so far. Lots of surprises. So lots of interesting discussions to be had. Very excited to be with you guys again.
Mr. Randy from Calgary, and after he told me, he said maybe Randy will be a snowman tonight. But you look like more like a guy from Jamaica right now, with your clothes.
I even brought in my shirt that fits right in with Thailand with all the Hawaiian stuff. Hey, Coach, I have my own nominee that I think should be considered for Turkey of the Year award.
I can
You'll
wait to
find
hear
that out
that
later,
for
Mike.
sure the next couple of minutes. But before we welcome everyone, of course, we would like also to hear for all of you people in the chat, why are you thankful today? And then the panel going to go one by one, Mr. Nartap, Marco, and Randy. Tell us a little bit more. Why are you thankful this year, maybe, or whatever is going on? So, people in the chat, share it with us, and Mr. And after going to be the first one.
Well, obviously, for the gift of life, I'll start that from a personal perspective because it's been a very rough year with both my mom and my dad, and I'm grateful that they're still here, even though they're not in great shape. And there's amongst everything that we go through on a that's a day-to-day basis. Our health is always the most important. It should preside over everything else. So I wish everybody great health and enjoyment in the process with whatever turns you on.
Well done. Well said, Mr. Nartap. And of
Well
course,
said.
during those times, it's like you see other things, right? And your life, you think everything is granted, but it's not. And but if one person can go through this very well, it's you, because you're a strong man and you have faith. And I know it's going to be a great moment for you at the next couple of weeks. And hopefully, it will be the best for your dad and your mom. Marco.
Well, yeah, it's for sure. I kind of agree with everything Intertap said there. Health, family, friends. Those are the core things that really matter in life, and you're always thankful for that. So for me, thankful for my family, thankful for my wife, thankful for all that. But I'll pander to the audience and say thank you for this community that we have. Right, like it's pretty awesome. I'm always thankful. I think we mentioned that we talked about it in our last live stream, guys, that, I joined this channel right when they were picking Slavkovsky. I think it was right after that draft. And so I've been able to kind of grow with the team, with you and Enertap and the rest of our panelists, and kind of watch this this journey, with everyone, with you guys, but also with our community, right? So thankful to everybody in the community. Like Enertap said, like life is all kinds of curveballs in life. So it's nice to have a place like this, to where we can kind of, get together and really kind of, talk about the thing that we all have in common, which is our love for hockey. And so I'm super thankful for that. So yeah, I'll go with that for this year.
Randy, where you are, and beautiful, great. Thanks, Marco, by the way. Randy, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that there are other sports than hockey. Being a Maple Leafs and Flames fan doesn't give you much gratefulness. I'm eternally grateful for a lot of family. I lost a sister this year, and my wife has lost an aunt and uncle. So it's been a really rough year too. In that tap, I can communicate with you. But I realized that love and family can make you stronger, and it has. It's brought me stronger. It's gotten me stronger, and I've hung on to my writing, and that's what's done me a lot of good, is my writing. And I'm grateful for the coach for encouraging me to write. Um, I'm grateful for my inadequacies. It makes me humble.
Awesome.
Nice.
Randy, thanks so much. Appreciate that. And we wish the best. Of course, for all the people that chat, all the people comment what they are thankful for. Mr. Kevin is in the house around the world. Kevin, thanks to be with us. And I will follow with everyone. I think health is pretty better, and the health is very important. And then I didn't know when I built that channel, the purpose was not it was just sharing hockey at the end of the day. It was not like any other things. Me and Michael didn't know. 6 years ago, we started this. And we did not know really, just have a good time together. And we see. And but this turned around to be bigger at what I thought. And the only reason it's bigger because we have a lot of great people here on the panel tonight or in the chat and all around. They are not here tonight. A lot of them deserve how grateful I am and thankful to have all of you guys here every night and make me better as a human being. And that's the most important thing for me as drive that channel, because this is not about me, it's about all of you, because you have a place you can go, you can visit, you can talk, and you can sharing with your knowledge about hockey and with respect and it's fun opinion, and that's the most important thing. Yes, always go have that, an X percentage. It's not the same way. Yeah, people leave. That's okay. It's a will, but the key behind that is to have a lot of great people here. That's the most important thing. So I just want to say to you guys, thank you for everything. And some of you are put a lot energy, time, and then some other put give a lot support the channel. So thanks of you guys. But for me, it's about to be here every night to enjoy it, to have a great time together. And that's the reason we do the Turkey Awards tonight on this fifth edition. We're going to see who is going to be the winner tonight and how this work. I'm going to give to you guys a little bit the process of that one. First of all, this is the fifth annual. That's not the same picture, by the way. That's the old one. But what happening in the first 4 years as a player? Jeff Petrie win that one. Jesperi Kokanemi, Josh Anderson did it. And then Jeremy Swimmen, Boston Bruins last season was the winner. As a team, we have the Islanders, Senator, Blue Jackets, Nashville, and who's going to be this season. And then we create a new one, Turkey Awards. It's not about Luciano, but it's about the Montreal Canadiens. And last year was the first one. It was Caden Primo. So every year we have three different categories: the players for the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens player, and of course the team. And that's going to do that for the next hours. But before that, we're going to welcome Roger Delaney. Welcome. Thank you so much to be with us, Roger. Roger is he's like Mr. Nartap. He's a teacher, Mr. Nartap, Roger. So glad to see him retire, but still bring a lot of great things for other people. Billy, Guy, and are in the house. Welcome back. Billy, Guy just back from the ice. They practiced today. They was on the ice together, on the line. They played together for the same team. And they're looking better and better. Before we do the awards, guys, we're going to talk a little bit more what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens, and then we'll talk a little bit about the NHL, and then we're going to go to awards. So I think it will be good. You have to participate, the people in the chat, because you are the selection of this awards. It's not only me, it's not only us. We select, we get a vote, and we go all the way together to get the winner on that one. So the first thing we want to talk about is Montreal Canadiens today. They announced Sammy Blais is going to be returning with Montreal, and it was sent down right away at Laval Rocket. Many of us last night during the game, we predict or we would like to Sammy Blais return with Montreal. It was finally confirmed by the Ken Hughes today. I would like to hear your first word about that move in our tap about Sammy Blais.
Initially, I was a bit surprised, I'll be honest with you, because you have Veleno, and we just picked up Tessier as well off of the waivers. And, we had a couple of the young guys come up in Jack Eye and Davidson. So I thought that they had that pretty much covered. I didn't think that they would revisit going back to Blais, especially even though it ended off well, I think. I don't think there were any hard feelings, but just having him back, I thought, where are they going to play him, right? And I understand that he's gone down to Laval probably just for some rehab, but I fully anticipate him being up at some point and being one of the floating 13th, 14th forwards.
Marco.
Coach, we talked about it yesterday on the stream. It's to me, it's very similar to what we talked about with Texier, right? Like, to me, it's free depth. Montreal has, I guess now they're up to 44 contracts now that they added Texier and Blais. So listen, like I think a lot of teams, like that's probably lower number than most NHL teams, the amount of contracts that they have. And with the condensed schedule, with everything crazy this year, you just need depth. So I think this is just a great move for them to add another depth person. And like I don't think it's over. I think they're still looking for like a center, like we've been talking about since the summer, right? So but to me, that he's just another option for Montreal. I think for Laval, it's amazing. Like he had a really, really good run in the AHL last season, winning the championship last year. So great pickup for them. I wonder if they call him up to play against Toronto. I wonder. That would be a fun trivia question, Coach. Like, how many players in the history of the NHL played for both Montreal and Toronto in the same season? That would
Total?
be interesting. Yeah,
Do you
I'm
know?
sure it
there's
hasn't.
quite a few.
Do you know?
There's quite a few.
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
It'd be
I did
that'd
it
be a
like a
gun
couple years
fun
ago.
trivia question.
Um, I believe it's over 20.
In the same
Oh,
season?
easily.
They play
No,
for
no.
they play for both team, yeah.
Career.
Yeah, but I mean in
Career,
the same
Marco.
season though. But I mean in the same season.
Oh, the same season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be maybe around 10. You think about Plicanet, example,
Yeah. That's
right?
true.
Plicanet is a good
Yeah,
one
that's
there.
good.
But you're right. I
You-
think it'd
Russ
be a good
Gordon.
one to check about this, or definitely check about this for sure. For Garrett, welcome in the house. Garrett said, who this guy? Say, this is Randy Walkman, directly from Brazil. He just stopped by today.
Brazil.
And now he's with
Brazil.
us for about 2 hours. Talking about Blib, I'm going to ask you how you trip in Brazil, Randy.
Oh, it was nice. That's all I'm going to say. I got no other comment about that.
But you talk
I
about
actually
Semi
would love to go to Brazil.
Randy. We talk about Semi Blip, but I want to bring you to Calgary Flame because remember, like Marco and Arta, 2 weeks ago, it was, I think his last name is Bescher from the Boston Bruins, who was on the waiver, and Calgary select him. So I would like to hear, Randy, what he looked like, Bescher, with the Calgary Flames.
Looks like a big third line feasible forward. He's got average speed. He's not a bad speed. He's nasty. He's hard to take off the puck. He does his role. He's fourth line / third line forward. Um, he's his offense. He's only gotten 1 point, but we weren't expecting points from him. We were just expecting some extra beef to,
Alberta
to
beef.
help out, and he's probably our best. He's probably our best face-off man on the team, coach.
All right.
That's the main reason why we got him was for his face-off loss.
Awesome to hear that
He was over
for him.
50%.
Calgary Flame, we'll talk about Calgary Flame the next couple of minutes. I know Randy's going to do a bit more about the Pacific Division, so I can wait to hear what's going on over there. Montreal played last night, huge W. If you check my video today, I resume a little bit what happened in the game. It was a bit another game where Montreal disappeared for the second period, and they gave 3 goals. I think this is the 5th time this year they gave 3 goals in 5 minutes approximately. Yesterday was about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, I believe. After a great period, I think the first period was a good game, a good period for them. 2-0, 3-2 after that for Utah, and then Montreal come back with a 2 goal in 1 minute 27. You have a lot of things happening in the game, left and right. The debut of Adam Ekstrom. We have also the Bolduc on the first line. The first line finally stepped up. So we're going to hear everything from all of you one by one. And then we'll go to the shootout. And, of course, the obscure everything. So let's start with them. And I'm going to follow this way. I think it would be more easy to the order about that. So let's start with NFTAP.
Well, I think it was definitely a must-win for Montreal, right? A tough road trip ahead. Utah, then followed by Vegas and Colorado. And we see how Colorado's just rolling right now. So I'm confident that they wanted to at least get that W, in their back pocket and salvage this road trip. Now that they have the 2 points, it makes it a little bit easier moving forward. But I thought it was a good game. I thought we saw different things during the course of the game. There, again, a little bit suspect on some of the defensive work there by some of the players, especially Carrier with a couple of huge mistakes, a key penalty that led to, I think, a momentum shift because Utah scored, and then we saw the other two goals quickly after that. The other thing that I thought was the fact that they had the resilience to hang in there. They didn't fall off the face of the earth. They stuck to their game plan. They shortened the bench in the third. I think there were about three players that saw very little ice in that third period. And I gotta tip my hat to Dobesh in the third period because I thought he was the reason that he kept them in the game and made some really, really key saves that allowed Montreal to get back in and then eventually win it.
Good point.
Yeah, I think it's a good summary, Entertop. Like I'd agree with pretty much everything you had there. What I would add is, like to me, I think you're right. Like, the second period stands out as hugely problematic again, I would say that, if if you're not just focused on the result and you're looking at how they actually played in the process, there's still a little bit of concern there, right? Like,
Yeah.
you think that at least there's two goals that were pretty lucky, like if you're thinking about the Suzuki goal that came right after a terrible Budzik turnover, but then Utah just turned it over even worse and they were able to kind of turn it around quickly. But if you're playing against a team that's really on top of things, you don't get that opportunity, right? And then same thing with the Demidov goal. Again, good on him to kind of to capitalize on that chance, but that was also a pretty bad turnover in the neutral zone that he just did before, right? So it's just one of those weird games. Again, like one of the things that we've talked a lot about, and remember, I haven't checked in a while, right? But Montreal was at number one in the league in terms of shooting percentage and very low in shots. So what does that tell us? Is they're very, very opportunistic, which is great,
Yeah.
right? Like it's very good that they're opportunistic, but that's not going to win you. Like that's not a process thing, right? Like that's not a repeatable thing that is going to win you lots of hockey games. But to me, it's 2 wins in a row in regulation. You just need to bag the points at this point. As long as Martin Saint-Louis is doing what we know that he usually does, which is keeping the truth up front with the team, saying, "Listen, big win, guys, but here's the truth. We still have a lot of work to do with some of those breakdowns in the second period." I agree with you with Dobesh. Like I call it the Grant Fuhr kind of win. Like where maybe there were some stoppable pucks. There's probably one goal I'd say that I'd like to have him. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a save on one of those in the second period. But then he made some big saves. Still didn't look super confident doing it. Still a little bit out of his net. But you love his battle level. And like people were saying in the chat yesterday, it's hard to argue with the record, right? Like his record is really good. But again, similar to what you said, like it's like being opportunistic, right? Like there's still, if Montreal wants to make it in the playoffs here, we're telling the truth. There's a lot of things that they're going to need to work on, especially here in the short term, going up against Vegas and Colorado coming up. So we'll see how they're able to take that momentum and hopefully clamp things down a little bit more securely here.
Mr. Randy, did you watch the game or not at all?
I watched a little bit of it. The
Okay.
thing that concerns me is the breakdowns for like Montreal has to play a full 60 minutes, and if they don't play a full 60 minutes, they're going to get themselves in trouble. Now, credit to them, like Nortrap said, they rebounded Coach in the third period. Credit to them that they found a way to win, but they can't keep up that ugly habit of the breakdowns. And
Coach,
if they don't have these
can I just
breakdowns, they're going
respond
to
to?
get.
There's a comment here from Jay Teal. I just want to respond to, right? So we're talking about Dobesh. And again, like, if you look at the save percentage, you're right. Like, again, like, and you look at the record, but if you just watch the way that he plays, he's still often not in the middle of his net, still kind of way too active. He has problems catching pucks, and kind of like a lot of rebounds as well too. So JP, like, listen, like if you're just looking at save percentage, even save percentage is not probably the best metric to look at goaltending performance nowadays. It's really goals saved above expected is really kind of what you look at, and saves with high danger or scoring chances. So, like I said, good for him. I like his battle, but to say that Dobesh is playing well, I don't know if you can go that far. I don't know. Like,
I will tell you one more thing: the BPM select him the player of the game.
So I don't know about that.
He did, like I said, the third. I thought as the game went on, you saw a little bit. He was jittery in the first period, and you saw a lot more rebounds than usual. He's usually not as bad with rebounds, letting out rebounds, but I thought yesterday was a little bit problematic, and once he started making some saves in the late second half of the second period, and into the third,
big saves.
you could see the confidence, right? And that's what it is. I think once the confidence sets in with both goalies, not just him, but with both goalies, we're going to see a different brand. And you need. I mean, that's your last line of defense is your goaltender. You need him to make key saves at key times, and that made the difference yesterday.
He did it. Like, remember, like last week, I don't know, it was I think it was Tobesh again. What is it? Yeah, it was Tobesh versus Washington,
Chicago?
and then it was Montembeau with after that, right? But it's fun, guys. It was just the goaltender. Our goaltender did not make the save, and Lindgren did the save. Lindgren at the end of the game was not like an amazing, great game, but when you have the opportunist to Montreal try to put the puck to tie the game 5-5, he made the big save of the night against Kapanen. Like, that was the turnaround there. If Kapanen scored, Marco and all of you, it's 5-5. We don't talk about 8-4 anymore. So this is happening with Lindgren. Last night, for me, this is what he did, Tobesh. Did two big saves back-to-back at the third period. I don't know. It was about 7-8 minutes at the end of the game where it was 4-3, and he made two big saves back-to-back. This is what he stepped up right there. I said this last week. We don't need to be Hellebuck. We just need to make the big save at the right time to keep the team and the game. If they do that, the goaltender Montreal, we're going to have a better season, not like he is right now with many problems with the goaltender. But at the end of the day, I think he was not the best player of the game. In my opinion, he was not the best player of the game, but he did his job at the end.
That's why
you. Rebound.
That's why I call it the Grand Fuhrer. It's a Grand Fuhrer kind of win, right? Like that's what I mean by that metaphor, right? Is Grand Fuhrer is famous for you let in 5 goals, but you didn't let in the last one. That's the classic.
Yeah, that's a good
Fuhrer.
one to see that for sure. I just don't like both goaltenders struggling with the stop the puck with the glove. I don't know if you look like about the 3 games, the last 4 games. The puck rebounds all the time in the glove, right? They chasing the puck and they don't stay in. I don't know. The goaltender for the glove was there. They both goaltender right now. They are shaky on the not square. It's not natural. It's this, they fight for the save, and then they it's not perfect. But they gave us the chance to win yesterday, and that's what we're looking for. Yeah, that's what we want about that performance of Tobesh. But you have other things in that game, I believe, we have to talk about, because I think you have a lot of great things. First of all, I complaining about Budzik, the line yesterday morning on my video about the statistic analytics was not good. I know it was a small sample, but Budzik respond with 3 points with Suzuki. Captain have a better game. Hopefully, he's feel better too. 400 points for Nick Suzuki in the NHL. That's another great milestone, honestly, with the Montreal Canadiens. So this is great for the captain. Eben Demidov, this is where I want to bring all of you about that. We watched him last season. We expect Eben Demidov to have a big red flag for him. He has right now, guys, 25 shots on the net and 5 goals on them. So they have something he have to figure out, because if you think about this at the same time, Kader Gauthier have 77 shots on the net. There's something at his game he need to modify, improve, or why he does not shoot enough, and what is the problem? So that's my question for all of you about even them. That's then they get sick when I'm trying to explain to you, but I feel like he does not use that rocket he has. I think he should do this. He was see them last year in the catch shot. This year look like he's. I don't know why. It's uh, uh, because Montreal does not shoot. Marco, you just talked about this. Montreal, they are 29-30 in the NHL. They are opportunists. They are the top three again still. A little bit lower. I'm happy about that because you cannot carry on this at 14% or, you're going to get bad. But he's been dropped, but he's still not too bad. Now they are 3-5-2 in the last 10 games. But what do you think about this in after? Am I right? Are you concerned that what Evan Demel should do? And he have, 18 points, I believe, right now. It's not like negative, I'm trying. It's just a part of this game. I was expect more from him on that category. So let me know about this before we move on.
No, it's a valid point you bring up, Coach. I think it's uh, very consistent with a lot of rookies that come into the league. There's very few that have the confidence to jump to the NHL level and start taking shots on net, right? I think he's more concerned with fitting in with his line mates, making sure that he doesn't make too many mistakes from both ends of the game. He seems right now to be more concerned with trying to set up others when I agree, he has opportunity to take it to the net himself, and he's got a great shot when he shoots yesterday. Like, what a wonderful goal he had yesterday. I know it was off of a mistake that Utah made, and but he did a nice toe drag there and used the defender as a screen in front of the goalie, and just pocketed the winner. And that's what he is. He's an explosive player that even if he isn't scoring on a consistent basis, when he does score, it's a key goal in the game. And yesterday, it was the game-winning goal, and it hasn't been the only time he's done that so far. So I anticipate, as his confidence starts to sort of raise up a little bit, and let's face it, once we get a proper 2C to complement that line, I think we're going to start seeing his production shoot up quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would call it a red flag. Like, I think we all understood that Demdov was going to be somebody that's more of a pass first player overall, right? Like, I think if you look at his profile of game, I think I thought he was going to have more assists in the NHL than he had goals. So it kind of matches kind of what we expected in terms of the profile. But you're right, 25 shots is still very low. But I agree with Enertap. Like, it's a very standard thing that you see, with rookies wanting to kind of, kind of like give it to their teammates on the line. The interesting thing, I guess, with that line is that there's not really any veterans, right? So you figure he wouldn't be as passive because it's not like he's playing with Suzuki and feels like he has to feed Caulfield or something like that. But I can't remember where I heard this, but I did. It's somebody that interviewed or had, I think it might be Marco D'Amico. I can't remember, but somebody talked to Demidov personally about shooting. And basically what they're trying to kind of drill out of him is that if he doesn't think he has a chance to score, he won't shoot. That's his philosophy. If he doesn't really believe that he has a chance to score, he doesn't shoot. So what they're going to need to work on with him is that, hey, like, I understand that it's nice to shoot and score, but you can still drive a lot of offense, create a lot of mayhem in front of the net by just putting the puck at the net a bit more often. Now, again, you don't want to. Martin Saint-Louis is very careful not to overcoach players there because he wants them to be creative, wants them to kind of make reads in the game. But I think it's fair for them to bring that point to him, saying, "Listen, like, make your reads and we want you to kind of like find pockets and everything else, but we just want you to recognize that sometimes putting the puck at the net is also a way of creating offense, even though you might not actually have a chance to score." So I think there's a little bit of a philosophical thing there maybe that they need to teach him too.
I just want to correct people. So Jay said that why specific Demidov. I will tell you why. First of all, Demidov is the worst of the shooting of the top 6 on the Montreal Canadiens. With Kapanen is at 28. Budzik is at 32. Gallagher, 35. Tubbs, Sakeski, 46. Zuski, 46. And Caulfield is 62. That's the reason we talk about Demidov. If you talk about all the team forward for the Montreal Canadiens, but they have, after him with 24 is Anderson. And that's it. Now, if you talk about Giovanni, I don't think I would put Giovanni in the same category as 16. So the point we bring Demida is the reason he have 25 shot. He have a shooting percentage at 20%. Point behind that, if he start to shooting the puck, because I believe he has maybe the best shot, the best release power of the Montreal Canadiens right now. The shot he did yesterday, guys, we see shots like this, like Austin Matthews, Connor Bedard, in my opinion. Like they drag
Yeah,
that puck
where
close to the
changes
skate.
the angle, like, where they
Yep,
change the angle of their shot, kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
he's a
about
game
that.
breaker.
That's an element of his game he had to bring about that for sure. And to resume the game Montreal Canadiens, honestly, I think maybe you talk about this, but I was checking all the information there. Is Montreal have 2 goal power play. That's did not happen yesterday. That's not happened for the last couple of games. Honestly, I think there was like 2-24, and that's the. I said this, guys. Yeah, 2 things in the NHL right now is misleading everybody. The extra point is misleading. I'm going to give you some number, guys, and you'll be shocked. You'll be like flip over your chair. And then after that is the power play Montreal Canadiens. If Montreal scored those goals at fun time of the last 2 weeks, the game is friendly. The result outcome of the game is friendly. Of course, every game the power play, but the power play a big role in NHL outcome age game about that for sure. Stay tuned, Mr. Randy, because we want to bring to you about the Calgary Flame the next segment. We're going to go the stood out,
Take your time.
obscure, and at the office tonight, and then the turning point, if you don't mind. So let's start with Marco, with Inarta.
For the game yesterday, I'm going to go with the stood out. For me, it was Suzuki. I thought not just because he registered his 400th point and is as an aside, he's I think the 5th quickest Montreal Canadian to achieve that at his age, just behind guys like Lafleur, Lemaire, Shutt, and I think Matt Snaslund was the other one. So congratulations to him, and I thought he played a solid game. He led the troops all night long. For the stood out, I'm going to go with Zachary Bolduc. I thought finally he looked very good on that first line. I thought he made his presence his himself very present in the situation all the time he was on the ice. Did not make a lot of mistakes and was in on most of the plays and registered, I believe. I think he got 3 points yesterday as well. He actually had an assist on the disallowed Slavkovsky goal as well, but I digress. And then to the office, I'm going to put, unfortunately, Carriere. I think there's a lot of work that's still there to be done. I think a lot of it is he's trying to not overstep, but overdo, and he wants to really contribute. But if he tries to keep his game a little bit simpler, I think he'll be more successful. And also matching him up, the matchups he's had lately have probably helped contribute to his downfall a bit.
Good point about that. Marco, you have anything different you have, or what you think? I agree or disagree?
No, I think it's true. Like, I think it's a toss up. You could say either Suzuki or Budzik for standout. For me, obscure, I'm going to say Mike Matheson. Like, Mike Matheson played, more than half. Like, he stayed for that whole penalty kill. He played over 11 minutes in the third period. We can talk about whether you agree with Martin St. Louis' bench management. It's one thing I didn't mention in the summary of the game, but listen, I understand cutting the bench and everything, but it's a condensed season, guys, and you can't be playing Suzuki 24 minutes a game moving forward here. Like, they're going to need to figure out a way to kind of balance out that ice time a little bit if they're going to, because Montreal's system is similar to Florida and other teams that want to pressure all over the ice. It's a very, very high pressure system that takes a lot of energy to play. So if you're not going to be rolling 4 lines, you can't cut your bench. Like, it's not just they cut like one player. There's like 4 players that played like under they had like 2 shifts, right? So you're pretty much cutting a whole line. I'm not sure that's like, it's to my original point, which is it's not sustainable. Last night, what we saw is not sustainable over a long period of time. I get that Martin St. Louis really want to get the win. Hard to disagree with Carrier as the to the office. Honorable mention maybe there to Joe Valeno, who I think again he won some big faceoffs, really good on the
Yeah, he did.
faceoffs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to discount that, but I really didn't like him losing his guy. Who was it? Carcone on that goal. Lost his guy behind the net. Not only did he get beat to the front of the net, but then he was really soft on him, just letting him kind of poke away at the rebound on that goal. So, again, like it reminds you that they need, I think, again, they need help at center on the bottom six because he's doing like 50% of what you need him to do. Like he's winning the faceoffs, but if you're going to be on the ice, you also need to be really good defensively. So he's answering and delivering on the faceoff wins, which is great, which is more than I thought he was going to do. But you've got to be really dependable defensively. And overall, he's been okay. But I would maybe just mention he's got to be a little bit harder, bring a little more intensity to kind of battle in front of the net there on that second goal.
Awesome. For what you saw, Randy, which player was the most impressive for you last night?
Out of the Montreal, probably Suzuki. Or no, I just guy's got more speed than I've seen, and he's such a slick forward. He just does things, and he doesn't give up, and he's just a pure slick forward. To me, he definitely has to be considered for Team Canada. I don't know whether he'll get it, but I would definitely consider him for Team Canada just because it's hard to explain. He's just probably one of the slickest forwards I've seen. I love it. People think that Caulfield's got a slick shot, but people underestimate Suzuki's wrister.
This is a good point, Randy. Like those one-timer, like if you look at that goal that he scored on the pass from Caulfield, there wasn't like Vejmelka moves side to side really quick. There wasn't a lot of room on that shot, and like Suzuki's shot is, I think, underestimated. Like we know he's primarily a playmaker, but he does have like an elite shot for sure. And that was there wasn't a lot of room on that shot, Randy.
Awesome. I go with.
By the way,
go ahead, Randy.
I was just going to say, by the way, Coach, the non-shooting syndrome. I've got a term for that I use for a lot of the players, and it's called the Alex Tanguay syndrome. He when he was in Calgary, the biggest complaint that we had of him, he would never shoot. And once the players get in that mind that their job is to be the setup man, it's really hard to get them out of that attitude. So so what you describe is the Alex Tanguay syndrome, and that's what I used to call it when I saw him play here in Calgary.
Great point about that. I appreciate that. For me, it's easy for me, but it's not easy. But no doubt, this is skill Baldzic on that one. Upscore, I go with Dobson. I put the first pairing, honestly, defenseman this morning. I think both of them play a solid game. Madison is just blew my mind right now. Like 23 of the 24 games, he's just great hockey player. I think he's underrated.
I can't think of one bad game that Matheson's had.
Of course, he played bad shift, but at the end of the day, I think Madison has been a great asset. Without him, we're on the trouble. Many of us we're on to trade him this summer. I think he is really there at the office. I have two. Carrier. I have a lot of questions about Carrier. For me, I'm worried about him. And then Davidson, I think this is his last game with Montreal. He's going to be returned in Laval Sunday for Davidson. I don't think so. He will play again. At least TC is not ready. And for the turning point, guys, is the two goals, the adjustment they did, the speech of the second intermission, and then they come back with two goals. And take a note, guys, Montreal scored a goal. They was refused by Sakowski. And that showed character. They come back right away. They scored a goal. About that lucky, maybe. By the end of the day, you make your luck. And that's happening there. So at the end of the day, great performance for the Montreal game yesterday. Huge. And I think Inartel said this at the beginning. Now you can, whatever you're losing, The next two games, you come back home, you're not empty-handed. And that's a very important two game, a plus regular time, like N26 said early. This is a two back-to-back. Montreal was at the bottom at 5 before the last two games, so they're out at 7. And that's a great thing. We're going to talk about this guy about 10 more minutes, then we're going to go to the awards, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Thanks to be with us. We know it's a special night. We know people are celebrating, so we don't expect too much. It's just about sharing the 5th edition of the Turkey Night. Turkey Awards. The standing, guys, I'm going to give you the best, the good, and the ugly. And I'm going to ask you questions, not to go everybody one by one, be there forever. And what we have the best: Colorado, Carolina, Dallas, Tampa Bay. Good: Ottawa, New Jersey, Vegas, Minnesota. Ugly: Nashville, Calgary, St. Louis, Vancouver. Wow. When you see that graphic and the people in the chat and you guys in the panel, you can tell me, oh, you forgot that, or I think in that category I would put that team. You want to talk about this? That's no problem. And then after that, guys, I'm going to talk about something you'll be like, whoa, this is crazy. So we're going to start with NR Tab. I know you're the first one, so maybe not see a lot. You can talk about a good, a best, or a ugly, and then we can go from there.
Well, in terms of best, I mean, it's hard to argue what Colorado's doing so far. They're 17-1-5. They're explosive on a nightly basis. I mean, they do have to be careful that they don't fall into that syndrome that we see a lot of teams that win the President's Award at the end of the year and they never experience any adversity, and then in the playoffs it could be a different story. But I don't think that that's the case with Colorado. I think they're getting absolutely solid goaltending from both their goaltenders, and the offense is just clicking. And for me, that's been the story in terms of the best. The good, I would go with Minnesota right now. Here they were in the same category as St. Louis. I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but you see again what Wallstead and Gustafsson are doing now, and they're standing on their head. The offense is starting to click. They're playing tight games. If you look at their record, they lead the league in I believe it's power play opportunities, and they also lead the league in fewest penalties. And when you have that dimension into your game, and you have some key game breakers that you do on that team with the return of guys like Zuccarello that came back, like it's no surprise that they've risen as much as they have in the standings. And the ugly, to me, continues to be Nashville. I think when you're getting everybody now in the team organization coming out and making statements that, hey, when did this game get out of hand at the 11-second mark? I mean, I think it tells the whole story. There's a lot of frustration, and I think they're looking at the clearing house with some of the players that they have there and seeing if they can fix this on the run over the next couple of years.
Oh,
Well, I think I wouldn't argue with your selections here for best, good, and ugly, but maybe let's add a different category, Coach, which would be the shocking, or the surprising. For that category, I think like you have teams like Boston, Pittsburgh. Even you could throw Anaheim. Like we knew Anaheim was going to get better, but being first in the division, I think is surprising. Even San Jose and Chicago, like to the point that that we made off the top, like this is just a league of parity, and it's something I talked about a lot last year. I'm like Randy, I go to other podcasts and I have debates with people in the chat, and a lot of people say like, oh, it's mediocrity. The NHL is mediocre. No teams are good. That's not the way that I look at it. I just looked at it's parity. It's not that teams are terrible. It's just that it's very even, and on any given night, any team can beat any team. So you have to build your team to kind of play in that NHL. So for me, I think that's kind of the story of the standings right now is the parity, and some of these teams that all of us, to me at the top of the list has to be Boston and Pittsburgh, just playing way over the level that any reasonable pundit could have predicted at the beginning of the season, right? So, but you're right. Like Colorado is just in a class of its own right now. Like if especially, let me just look at it here. The goal differential for Colorado, they are currently at plus
44.
44, plus 44 guys, and then the best
Yeah.
team after that, I believe, is Dallas at plus 16. Like that is
Yeah.
like that's like not even the same universe
Oh,
of
it's not the same league. Right now, they have one league
crazy.
is Colorado, and they have
2-1.
after that. Before a couple of days ago, guys, he was like Colorado have 7 points in front of the second team, and the some 2 second to 26, I believe 24 was 7 points. So just give you an idea what they look like. I think Colorado can start to play for the next 3 weeks, and they will be still in number one in the league.
And you know what the ironic thing is? Their power play hasn't really come around. They're only at 16%. Imagine if they were clicking.
Wow.
No, you're right about that for sure. A lot of prediction are wild right now. Randy, I want to go straight to Calgary because you're really there, you follow them, and we know Toronto. I did not put Toronto there, Gary, because it's not like ugly yet. They are not the bottom NHL. I know they are not performing, but I want to talk about Calgary. For what you heard, what you expect. We talk all day for the Sunday beginning. Kadri Anderson. Is it a team's going to retool? Conroy going to get an extension? And but what do you expect for them the next couple of weeks? Yesterday, Wolf was not very good. 3 goals the first 5 minutes, whatever it was.
3 shots. 3 for 3. First of all, I'll get rid of the business. Like I told you a couple of days ago in the chat, that Conroy was close to the chat extension that happened yesterday. I do believe it's nobody knows how many years. Eric Francis said 2 years, so I'll take his word for it. A 2-year extension, that's all done. My understanding is Kadri is still, the Flames are still telling people they will not go against Kadri's will. He wants to stay. As long as he has that attitude, as long as the owner has that attitude about him staying, Kadri won't get traded. But who do you guys think is the biggest asset that teams have inquired on?
Coleman.
That's exactly
Coleman,
right.
yeah. And Anderson too, probably.
Double-digit teams.
Yeah.
Are you going to trade him?
It's up to Coleman.
But Randy,
I suspect they will. Yeah, go ahead.
In your opinion, I mean, I know Kadri wants to stay, but is that the wisest thing for Calgary, you think? Wouldn't they be better serviced if they try to get rid of his contract? How many years does he still have on his contract at his age?
He's got 3 more years at $7 million, or 4 more years. 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's
3 after this year. 3 after this year. Yeah.
3 after this year, and he's $7 million. They have said, now this is direct quote from them, and this is direct quote from my source, is they want to be competitive for a playoff spot next year, and they want to be a contender by the time the new arena built. And
I think they're also really
given that.
Calgary's really concerned about their culture too, right?
Go ahead,
right, Randy. Like I think they're really concerned about. They're really concerned about their culture too, right? Like I think ownership has talked a lot about how like they look traumatized by looking at teams like Buffalo, Utah, and teams that have not had successful rebuilds, and they're really concerned about.
They refuse.
Yeah, they're really concerned about trading some of these. Like they do want to get younger, but they kind of, I think the main thing you can look at, they want to look at similar to what they did in Dallas. They want to retool on the fly. They're kind of using that model. Randy, one question.
They are using the Dallas model. Go ahead.
You're really close to the fans there in Calgary, Randy. What like we heard a lot about the comments that Don Maloney had with Eric Francis on that article. Like, what was your take on Dan Maloney getting involved in not like? Would the message be different coming from Craig Conroy versus Dan Maloney? Like, why do you think he came out?
No, don't. How do I put this? I just wrote a blog on this, and it's not published yet. So you're you're gonna get me. If I quote my blog, nobody reads it anyways. In all honesty, nobody reads
I
my
read your
blogs
blog.
anyways.
I read your blog sometimes, Randy.
You and North Trap. That's about it. um, I'll be blunt. I'll tell you in a nutshell where I'm coming from.
But let's get you in front of the
Teams
camera,
go.
Randy. We want to get the
Oh,
drama, but we want to see your face when you say it.
oh no! I wrecked my camera. I can't get myself
I
back
got
in
you
there.
all emotional talking about Dan Maloney. I screwed up your
Yeah,
camera
lean.
angle.
Yeah.
Do a George
Um.
Costanza there, Randy. Lean to the right.
Yeah. In a nutshell, I cannot set that camera up. I may
It's
have to
okay.
get my wife
Lean
to
to the
come
right.
back. The main thing, and this is the main quote from my blog: teams no longer do rebuilds. The magic word is retool. Owners do not want to go into 5 to 10 year rebuilds. The owners are in this for a money business, guys. Basically, they're in it for money. They want to make money, and the best way of making money is to win. There is no winning in a rebuild, and especially in Calgary's situation, guys, is because we got that new arena,
Yeah, but
and that new
Randy,
arena is a
this is
must.
the counter
That's
argument
the
that I would
problem.
make to that. The counter argument that I would make to that is what I would argue. I'm a marketing guy, right? So I understand marketing, right? So when it
Yeah,
comes to marketing, you need a product to sell, right? So right now, the product that you're
absolutely, you
selling
do.
in Calgary, it's not, they're a hardworking team, and they're a fun team to watch because they work hard. But to me, when you're doing a rebuild, it's about selling hope. It's selling the future, right? So anybody who thinks that they can't, fill seats, just look at Montreal. Montreal is a perfect example of how you were able to keep fans interested by selling hope, right? And guys,
No.
they're having this conversation in Calgary. The same conversation is happening in Vancouver right now as well, right? Like
Yeah.
What's
Vancouver,
worse?
they
And
Well,
they just sent, well, yeah, in Vancouver, they just sent a memo to Alvin sent a memo to the rest of the general manager saying that they're open to trading their veterans. But it's the conversation around Quinn Hughes. Same thing with like your question about Kadri and her tap about, is it really in their best interest to trade Kadri? Well, if you're Vancouver, like, why would you wait till next year to trade Hughes? He's not going
yeah.
to sign there. So you might as well just get good value right away. But it's a tough situation. Like again, like management teams, I can understand that you'd be traumatized looking at what happens in Buffalo, but that's just a weird jinxy, somebody cursed that organization. Like, I don't know if it was Chris Drury and Danielle Briere when they left there. I don't know what happened, but you have to kind of eliminate Buffalo from it because it's kind of a unique thing.
Adams went there is what happened there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be blunt. Adams has got to be the worst general manager of all time.
But he's not
Um,
the only guy, Randy.
I,
There's been several
no,
GMs
he
that have went
isn't.
through Buffalo during the 14 years. It's not like only him.
You're
They've
right.
done two rebuilds. They've done two rebuilds on top of each other and still haven't made the playoffs. So sorry,
RDP
Yeah, but
still
he's.
love Buffalo.
sorry, RDP.
And you know what? I love Buffalo, and you know what? Ty Thompson is probably one of the most talented forwards in the league. I love Ty Thompson. There's very few players, coach, in reality that have a better one timer than Ty Thompson. I think he's almost got as good as Ovechkin when it comes to the one timers. He's a pure talented forward. I love Buffalo. I feel bad for the fans. Um,
Absolutely.
We're going to
there's
move
nothing
on, guys,
else.
because
Yeah.
still have a lot of work to do, everything like that. So we have to go before we go to ours. We want to look about the standing. We got the best, the good, and the ugly. So I'll bring you now to the standing. 75% sent 2023 season, 2024. 75% of the team are in the playoff tonight. Usually they are make the playoff. So we're going to do
Yeah.
this exercise, guys. I'm going to show to you who are they. The Tampa Bay, Ottawa Bruins, New Jersey, Carolina, Washington. You have New York Islanders and Pittsburgh. Now, what are you going to do on that? If it's 35%, so we expect approximately if there are 8 teams, maybe 2 teams will be out of this, maybe 1 team. And then I'm going to give you the one are not there. And they are Montreal, Flyers, Detroit, Columbus, Rangers, Panthers, Toronto, and Buffalo. That's weird and that's crazy. But when you look at about that in our tab, do you have any team or do you think you have a team going to switch or not from that one over there? If one or the 2 teams are out, let me know which one. And Marco, you're going to the same thing. Randy, you're going to the same thing. We're going to go both direction about that. And we appreciate a lot. If you think something could happen in the chat, you can tell us what is your prediction about those teams. And then can I give you one comments? Can I give you some
No.
not advice, but some information I got today? Here we go. Boston guys, you know the extra point. You know, make its friends right there. I'll give you an example right there. For the New Jersey Devils, they are number 1 over there. The record for extra point is 6-1. Can you imagine if they are 1-6, they are not in the playoff?
That's right.
Right? You want another one? Boston Bruins. Do you know the record on OT or an extra time? Do you know?
No.
5
Well,
and
they
0.
haven't lost.
5-2.
5
they haven't
and 0.
lost.
5-2.
Yeah.
So 5 and 0, guys. We
5-0.
talk about 5 points. They will be at 23. They will not be there if they are 0-5. And that's a big problem right there. And then, do you know what? Another one? One
Which
team is struggling is St. Louis Blues, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the record on the overtime?
7 losses.
Pretty ugly.
0-7.
7 losses. Yeah. Yeah.
Marco, 0-7. If they have only 4 points, if they have 7 points, they are in the playoff tonight. That's going to be a very big, important stat in NHL. Another stat I will give you is wild this year, guys. Do you know which team have the most power play this year?
Calgary Flames.
It's Minnesota.
Minnesota. Which team have the less penalty kill?
Minnesota. I talked about that earlier.
I don't know how much they pay the referee at the end of the game, but it looked like they pay more the player referee work in Minnesota compared to anybody. This is real stat, guys. I give you about something happening right there, and it should. I just give you that that information right there. But and after which when you see this, what you see that everybody laugh at my Tampa Bay Lightning at the position number 1. They're just talking about my team. When they're not deforming, they tell me, "Hey, you see, coach, you told that Pittsburgh was supposed to be there. They are not there." Well, Tampa Bay in the top. I don't hear anybody talk about this.
No, Tampa Bay. I mean, for me, that was my pick to win the Atlantic Division for sure. I thought,
9-2.
they're just too talented. They've been decimated with injuries all year long, and they still don't have a full team, and yet here they are standing on top. Now, having said that, and we go back to what we were talking about before earlier with Marco about parity in the league, right? Especially in the Eastern Conference. I mean, look at the teams that are right behind right now Pittsburgh for that second wild card. You got Montreal at 27. You have Philadelphia, Detroit. They're all at 27. And then you have 2 other teams, Columbus and the Rangers, that are at 26. So, hey, have a good week, and you could find yourself in the top 3 of each division. I would say I know we've always gone by the adage that the teams that are in a playoff spot, usually by Thanksgiving, are the ones, for the most part, that will continue to be there at the end. But I say you throw that out the window this year because there's just too much parity, and yet you're going to have to look. I think you mentioned, Coach, earlier. Do you see anybody moving up or moving down? The answer is absolutely, and a lot of it is going to depend on also health of the team. If you get a couple major injuries, that could set you back quite a bit. And some of these teams that are hurting, that are at the bottom, like i.e. Florida, as they get healthier and get Barkov and Kachuk back, you're going to see them moving up the standings. So I think this is one of those years where it's a jump ball, and with the exception of maybe I'd say about 4 or 5 teams that I think are shoe-in to make the playoffs. The other ones are all going to fight for those playoff spots.
The lives.
Which one going to
Yeah,
be out? Which one to be in?
If I had to take one, I would say Boston out. I mean, I still look at them and say I don't know how they're there. I'll be totally honest. They have an awesome first line, and I mean, I can venture a guess, and I'll say it in one word, and that's Swayman, right? And in
Swayman.
today's NHL, if you don't have a solid goaltender, chances are you're not going to be anywhere near the top, let alone a playoff spot. And the difference last year to this year for Boston has been the play of Swayman for the most part. So if there's a team that I would predict might not finish there, I think Swayman will still keep them very relevant, but I think there's going to be other teams that are going to be pushing. So I'll take Boston out of the equation.
Which one are we in?
In good one. um, I mean, I'd love to think
come
Montreal.
on, come on. Yeah.
Hopefully, I had my reservations about Columbus and Detroit at the beginning of the year. I didn't think that. I mean, I thought that they would be in the mix, but I didn't think that they would be there. I would go with Florida. I think Florida will definitely be there.
All right, Marco.
Yeah. So one thing you have to look at here too, like I usually when I look at standings, I usually look at the points percentage, like not just the points, but like the winning percentage, because it's more accurate in terms of games played. So like right now, if you look, Boston, their winning percentage is a lot lower because they've played so many more games than a team like Montreal, for example, right? So if you look at Boston's winning percentage, they're currently at 560. And Montreal is at 614. But you have teams like Philadelphia that are at 614. So I'm with you, Tap. Like again, like I mentioned, like to me the most surprising team, and I would say it's not even just goaltending, guys. Like based on the games I've watched, Boston, they're just a super well coached team that executes. Like their breakouts are crisp. Their passing is sharp. Like they're just a really well organized team that plays well as a team. On paper, it does not look like a playoff team, but they're just playing well, and they are getting that goaltending. Yeah. And they do have really elite talent with Pasternak. You have Geeky that's like leading the NHL in goal scoring right now. Like so, listen, like, but on paper, like I don't know, like to me for sure, I see Tampa and Ottawa as locks to finish top 3 in the Atlantic Division. I think Ottawa is definitely turned a corner. They're playing really, really solid hockey. So to me, I would say I'm with you. There's too much. I can't predict who's going to be in and out. There's a lot of teams stacked up, but I would say that the teams that are likely to move down would be the Islanders, Pittsburgh, and Boston. And then you have Montreal, Detroit, Columbus, Toronto, Florida. Those are all teams that could be right there. We don't know.
Toronto make the playoff, Marco?
They're going to be in the mix. I think they're going to be there in the mix. I don't know if they're going to make it, but they're, it's possible. Hard to predict. Too close to call.
Randy, we're going to go on the Western for you. Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Anaheim, Vegas, Seattle, Los Angeles Kings, and the team Mammoth. If you have Chicago, San Jose, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Vancouver, St. Louis Blues, Calgary, and Nashville, who is in, who is out?
Edmonton will be in. The team that's out, LA Kings.
Ooh.
It comes down to it. And the main reason why I think LA is going to be out is because I think their defense is getting old.
Randy, are you sold on Seattle?
No, I don't think Seattle will get in either. Maybe it is Seattle more than LA. You talked me into it. Trap. I think I'll go with Seattle. But I know for a fact that I'd be utterly shocked out of my tree with happiness if I made the playoff. I'd be the most happiest guy in the world. I mean, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this. I had a big smile on my face when I saw that Dallas 8-3 score, and when I saw the Colorado 9-1 score. I wasn't very upset that way, but I just don't see and I suspect, and I've been told over and over again, Edmonton will fix that goalie problem. Who they get, I don't know, but I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that Edmonton will get in. And I'll give you a shocking name right now. Is the Edmonton Oilers have talked about trying to get Sorokin, but they're having trouble trying to fit his cap in. And with how well the
I
Islanders are
would,
playing right now, I don't think the Islanders would do it.
yeah, I don't see
No,
the Islanders moving off Sorokin
I just
personally, but
I've
I don't, especially
I've
by the way
heard
they're playing right now.
I've heard that they're trying to get Bennington maybe out of St. Louis.
uh,
I've
and
heard
Tristan
that.
Tristan
Yeah,
Jarry to Edmonton
Jarry
as
is
Tristan
another
well.
one.
Jari is a new one that
At the end of the day, guys,
weeks
they're
brought
looking
up.
for each team in the NHL to get a goalie right now. So it's not like only one, but you do this for 6 years. Like it's not like a first
I've got
round.
an interesting trivia question. Who's got the best saving percentage in the NHL?
Cooley from Calgary Flames.
That's
Right
exactly
now.
right.
All 4
930.
games.
And
8 games.
Randy, would you agree that he's one of the best interviews out there too? Like his interviews are
Oh,
hilarious.
Oh, he's
absolutely.
hilarious.
So
I
funny.
absolutely, I fell in
He's
love
so
with his interview. He's one of the best.
he's natural. He's
He's an
very
absolute
genuine.
terrific guy.
Yeah.
He's just
He's a
he's down to
philosopher.
earth, and in reality, he's been the best goalie on the team by far. He's been absolutely terrific. He's been a story and a half here.
All right, we're going to move on, guys. If you don't mind, we're going to go to
Okay.
our awards. So that's what we do with purpose tonight. We did another review about that. We could talk about NHL all night long, but we have to give the rewards, the awards to the people. How we work, guys, in the chat, you gave me 2 names of each division. We're going to move on to 16 to 8, 8 to 4, and 4 to 2. Everybody count their vote. It's not only us, it's you guys in the chat. So your participation is very important. If we have 10, 12, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But if you want to join us, that'd be great. If you have any other players on the division is not there, you maybe think this player should be there. You let us know, or you vote for a specific player is not there. We're going to add that, and we did that in the past. We add more players. Those is what I try to go faster trying to pick up them, and you're going to let me know about this. So we have a Metropolitan guy, Ken Johnson, Columbus, 2 and not 35 assists, I apologize, is a 3 assists, a 5 point. That's not start very well. Frederick Anderson, guys, 3.07, 0.878. Jacob Maxstrom, 3.56, 0.874. And Julie Miller, guys, 6'7, 13.23. If you have other players in Metropolitan, let me know. I'm going to add that. But in our time, we're going to start with who are they? Who do you want to be there? And the vote,
Oh my goodness.
the vote
Yeah.
move on, right? They are for the next round. It's not like they stay in the race to get the awards, the Turkey Awards.
Yeah, probably. I mean, as well as Carolina is doing this year, they're in second place in the Metro. I mean, it has been disappointing with Anderson. It's not that we haven't seen it coming on over the years, and injuries have played a huge part as well. But it is surprising as their veteran goaltender that he's got those kind of numbers on a team that focuses on defensive structure, right? So I'll throw my vote for the turkey there to get old Frederick Anderson.
We have to take 2.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one I'll give to. I'm going to go with Kent Johnson. I mean, I think a lot more was expected out of him, and I recognize that Columbus isn't doing great this year, but they need his production.
Marco?
Yeah, I'm just looking at see if there's anybody else I would add from the Metro. I think Kent Johnson for sure. Like that comes off the page crazily. I have him in my hockey pool too, so I reserve a extra level of hate towards him. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of anybody else from the Metro. from the Rangers, like there's just a lot of underperforming players for the Rangers, right? So, like you could put Alexis Lafrenière in there just as much as you could JT Miller, in my opinion. So I don't know, like it's a tough one. So just, I don't know. It's hard. Like, it's a toss up because I don't see that big of an impact for the other guys. So I'm going to say Kent Johnson, and I guess I'll go Jacob Markstrom just because I guess he's counted on so much. And but I agree, like it's weird because New Jersey's still doing really well in the standings, right? But I don't know. That's a tough one. Nothing screams out at me more than Kent Johnson for the Metro, but I'll just be different and I'll say Johnson and Markstrom, I guess.
Thank you, everybody. Matt Wendy.
I would say Markstrom too. Markstrom and Johnston.
All right, we get that one. We have a couple of people talking. Anderson, Johnson, Miller. It can use Ken Johnson, Ken Johnson and Miller. Then we have Maxstrom on the one with Miller, TH, Miller, Maxstrom, Miller, and for Pete Martin. So yeah, a couple of things right there. Anderson is the first one right there. And now we have a tie between G. Miller and then Jacob Maxstrom. Honestly, I would decide that one, and I would go with Maxstrom. So Maxstrom move on to the next round, guys. Johnson 37, not bad. A2, yeah, you're right about this. We talk about this. So Maxstrom and Johnson move on. The next one, guys, on the Atlantic Division. Backstrand, Gibson, Stollard, and Montembeault. This is the division of the goaltending, honestly. I can add one more, but I say, okay, Ulmark. But Ulmark, its goal against average is 284. It's not bad, but it's not best. So you have a choice right there. We're going to talk with Enartap on that one. Who are they? Who do you want?
For me, I'm going to go with Stollarts. I think we see the difference between last year and this year and where the Leafs were and are now. And even to a lesser degree, but also quite important, the way Montembeault goes sometimes, the way Montreal is going to be going and have gone. So I'm going to go with the two goaltenders out of Toronto and Montreal.
Montreal and Toronto on that one. Thanks again, Cash Fan, about that. Marco?
Yeah, hard to argue. I think for sure Montembeault is going to have a strong year. I think I have a suspicion this might be Montembeault's year here. Not to sway the voters, but hard to not pin him with one of the votes for the Atlantic Division. And again, I'll use my own hockey pool as an aggravating factor and choose Oliver Bjorkstrand, which I think I picked in the 9th round of the draft because I thought he was going to play some big minutes for Tampa. Tampa doesn't have a lot of depth. So you figure he was going to end up in the top 6 and play with some good players, but just hasn't really been there for him. So he is available for trade, by the way, if anybody's interested.
Always open for a trade.
Fit right in Calgary.
Randy?
Buy low, sell high.
He'll fit right into Calgary. He sucks just as bad as the rest of the team. Calgary, probably Stollarts. And I'm sorry, Montembeault's been garbage. And I know I'm going to get slammed for that. But I've got the two goalies there. They've been absolutely horrid.
All right, I got it.
If you didn't have Gomez, you'd be in trouble.
It's easy,
PLW's
guys.
got
It's Montembeault. It's Stollarts. Have a couple. One for Buckstrand, and then one is Gibson. Two are Gibson. So Montembeault, Gibson against 10. So not good enough to beat Stollarts. So we're going to move on to the next one, guys. And the next one is Central Division, Pacific Division. Dano, Lankinen, Skinner. Is the only one returning this year. Is Skinner, by the way. I pick everyone. I look about this. Skinner is the next one. And Zary guy for Calgary Flame, I think about that. He's not agree with that one.
No, you missed the boat. It's Mackenzie Weegar. Look at Mackenzie Weegar's points. 0 goals, 4 assists, minus 20.
For Weegar.
Not even close.
Wow.
Take Connor Zary
Okay.
out of there. Put Mackenzie
You
Wow.
want
Weegar in,
Wigard
coach.
about that one over there.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Mackenzie Weegar has been not good.
That's
Okay.
No
As
crazy
a
stuff
goals,
right
passionate,
there. So
4 assists,
I
and a
missed that
minus
one, guys.
20.
So Wigard is going to be on the list also for everyone. So we're going to have 5. Wigard, Zary, Skunner, Lekinen, and Dano for all of you about that one over there. And let's start with Mr. Marco on that one. And our type is still typing left and right.
No, I'm not typing.
All right, let's go in our type.
I'm gonna again. I mean, Stuart Skinner comes up every year. I think that's at the crux of Edmonton's problems year in and year out. I mean, he has games where he looks like he'd be a half decent goalie, and then all of a sudden he'll have the next couple games where he's letting 6, 7 goals in at the key times. So I'm going to go with Skinner for sure, and my second choice would be probably Philip Deneau. 4 assists. I know defensively he's still doing a very good job for LA, and it's helping, but I think some offensive production is needed from him in order for LA to be successful, and they're not getting it from Dano. So those are my 2.
Marco?
Well, after Randy's passionate plea, I'm pretty. I think I'm swayed, and I went and I just confirmed what Randy was saying. I didn't know Uyghur was at that level. Like that's a pretty big piece for them, and for Calgary and Connor Zary. Like he's it's a sophomore season, right? It's his second season.
Yep.
So I don't know how much you can count. Like, and he was injured, and then like they've been bouncing around up and down the lineup. So I don't know. I think it's unfair to kind of nominate him for a Turkey Award at this stage in his career. Still pretty young guy. So I'm gonna go with I'll go with Uyghur and Deno for Pacific Division. I agree with Enertap. Like we know Deno is not gonna fill the net, but like 4 points. I know that he's now in the third line because Byfield's kind of emerged right into that second line. You still need a little bit more production from him. So we'll go there.
Randy, you have the next one. You could make a big statement right there. You could be split the second pick.
I've got Weegar and Skinner.
Dano and Wigard?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Skinner and Weegar. And I'm sorry. I hate picking on Skinner, but the guy is not good.
Wow, you're going to surprise everybody, guys.
I'm making a plea
Skinner.
tonight that Edmonton does not trade Skinner.
Skinner is not moving up. Skinner is good to go. So it's going to be Wigard and Dano guy are out. Are coming for the next round. Wigard and Dano. So, thanks you, Randy, about Wigard. A great catch right there. Next one, guys. Central Division. Barrett Ayton, Steven Senkos, Marcus Foligno, Joel Offer. Maybe other like Bennington, but Bennington, guys, is goal average is not too bad at all compared to Offer. And they have maybe 3 games difference, so I'll go right there. There we go. So, Mr. Nartap.
Yeah, Coach, I think you put Hoffer in there only because you have him in your fantasy pool. But
yeah,
I would have. I could have easily
a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I mean, I could have easily thrown Bennington in there as well. But at least he's got the pedigree. He's been there before, and he's going to be representing Canada for sure. So I can't, in all fairness, throw him in that category. I'm going to go with Stamkos. It's not just this year; it's also last year. I mean, talk about a bad contract. Going even worse. That's it. And I'm gonna have to throw Barrett Hayden in there as well, for like 5 points. I think the Mammoth are looking for more production out of him. They've had some guys really step up this year, and that's great. But he was one of the ones that I thought would be at least in the double digits. So I'll go with Hayton and Stamkos.
It was one of the best. It was one of the players Marco was talking about this summer, Hayton.
Yeah.
I would still take him on my team, by the way, but not a strong start for him, for sure. But yeah, hard to debate with for Stamkos at all. Joel Hofer again, like he's a rookie, right? So I think he's still officially considered a rookie in the NHL. So I'm not sure
And
I
a
would put
backup.
him in the yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know. So for me, I'm not sure I would do that. Like I'm going to predict that Steven Stamkos comes out as the winner after we do the second round here, but I'll go with Barrett Hayton and Steven Stamkos as well.
All right, got it. Sanko and Ethan, Brandy.
I've got to go Stamkos, and I've been very disappointed in Foligno. I don't think he's been exactly anything that matters to write a home about. So I'm picking Foligno and Stamkos is my two.
All right, Sanko is win that one. Honestly, nobody took a offer. Don't know
No,
why. Maybe you don't have them. You don't have him on the fantasy hockey. If you have him, you said you put him right away and you check him
I
right
mean,
away.
you could
Foligno
you
Senko's
could have
need to get
also.
out of the sun with fast. He does not want to get there. Foligno and it.
I mean, you could have easily thrown Marchessault in that equation as well. I think he's got 6 or 7 points.
Ovidiu
Same.
select Foligno and Aiton. So the funny thing is because it does not show the problem, it doesn't help the problem. We have both of them right now with 4 votes about that. It was me now to decide where I go. Sanko's guy is going to get that one now. Aiton and Foligno on that one. It's really interesting on this because Aiton is still young, but he played a big role with the team. Foligno is not young anymore, but he have
how
only
many
2
hits?
points. That's
How
simple.
many hits does Foligno have? If is he still
I
hitting
did not
people at
have
least?
on that one. I was
Yeah,
thinking my head right now. That was just right there thinking about this too. I don't know.
yeah.
But with the offensive, they have the Aiton Utah, and he played with. He's not played with Cooley and
No, he's playing with Keller and with
Peterka.
no.
He's
Well,
also.
last against Montreal. So actually, here's a good one, guys. What about Paterka? Like they had Paterka on the third
Yeah, he
line last
hasn't
night.
been exactly lighting it up.
They have 7 goals, so
Paterka,
that's the reason behind
Isn't
that.
bad.
So I
Yeah.
go with Aiton on that one, so I'll fix that problem right there, guys. It'll be easy to get there. So we have 8 plus, guys. We move on the next round right there. But the time we do that, guys, I'm going to get the one for the team. We're going to select 2 teams right here, if you don't mind. And they are Edmonton, Toronto, Calgary, and St. Louis Blue. So you pick again 2 teams only. If you have another team you want to mention, you can mention that. But I think is the one. Now, why not Nashville? I will tell you my opinion, but you can say no. It's not big deal. I was expect already that team be at the bottom 5. So I tried to go what they are disappointed season. We predict them higher in the standing. They are not there yet. So if you can vote that way, that would be the best way that's described. But if you all disagree with me, you can go next one. So let's start with Enartap on that one. 2 votes you have, Mr. Enartap, for that team.
Well, it wouldn't be a turkey award if we didn't say the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm going to
Yeah.
throw the Leafs in there. They're out of a playoff position for a team that, this was their window to try to not only make the playoffs, which they have the last X amount of years, but also to move forward. They're not doing it, and this year doesn't look very promising yet. The second team I would throw in the mix for me would be, I anticipate and expect Edmonton to rise, so I'm not going to give them a vote, but I will to St. Louis. I really thought after how they finished off the year last year, and then they had a solid a series last year. They won 7 games and lost, I believe, in overtime. I thought that they were a team that nobody wanted to play in the playoffs, and I thought that they would carry that through, and they haven't. So for me, it'll be Toronto and St. Louis.
All right. Marco?
Well, I wish I could vote the same as Guy R29 and say Toronto and Toronto, but I know that would be breaking the rules. So I'm going to say, I think for me, Calgary, I put in the same category as Nashville, coach. Like, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, so I wouldn't put them in the Turkey category. Edmonton is still a little bit above 500, right? Like, where are they now? They
Right there,
are,
500, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
500.
yeah.
Right
So
there.
They're 10-10 and
I'm
5.
going to say I'm going to agree, but I think it would be Toronto and St. Louis. I think would be the two teams. Like Toronto, you know, to be honest, there's a lot of like if you look at, I've watched a lot of their games this year. Like if any, I know a lot of Habs fans here, so you remember the first game of the year where Montreal outplayed Toronto, but somehow Toronto won. I'd say probably like 80% of Toronto's wins were exactly like that game. So they have, you know, they're
Pittsburgh,
around 500.
Columbus, you name it. Marco, they come back at the third period. They from nowhere, 3 goal, 1
Yeah.
goal, 2 goal. They
Yeah.
play only 1 period per game, I believe, in my opinion. This is not
Yeah.
good at all.
No. Like so again, like we talked about earlier about Montreal's game last night, about how process matters and you can't just look at the result and feel good about it. If you're a Leafs fan and you're looking at how they play, Randy, like you watch a lot of the games too, like there's just not a lot to be happy about. You know, like, and the last couple wins that the last win that they had, I think was all Joseph Wall. Like he stood on his head, even against Montreal, like could have easily been 8-0. So yeah, Toronto and St. Louis, I think it's pretty straight up that I would put through.
All right. Randy, you're not going to send anything for Toronto. They already in.
No,
But you
that's
can
right.
make a
My
statement
pick
for
is
your second
Toronto,
team.
Vancouver Canucks.
Vancouver Canucks for you. All right. So
You
Really?
know what? Marco, if you saw them play against Calgary last Sunday,
I did. I watched
they
it. Yeah,
look like
I watched it.
they look like an ECHL team. They were absolutely horrid. Anyone that allows Calgary to score 5 goals on you, you're not a good hockey team. They're dismantled.
It hasn't been
But
great, Randy. But have you watched any of the St. Louis games though?
I've watched them beat Calgary twice. I've also
Everybody's
seen
beating
them.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Except for the San Jose Sharks. San Jose Sharks haven't beaten Calgary yet. Calgary
it's
beat
going to
them
be
2-0.
it's going to be Saint Louis, and Toronto is going to move on about that one.
Toronto should move on. Toronto should move on.
Yeah. So that's what we get. I thought to get out. Who was on the Pacific? We have Wigar and who? Dan D.A.
Danielle, the LA King
Dano.
guy.
All right. Philippe Dano.
Dano.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sound good.
Yeah.
There we go. So we got that one, guys. Going to move on for the next one. So now we're going to pick 4 of them. And it was better to put this all together, not to go by conference, honestly. It's not fair. So you have 8 of them, Mr. Nartap. You pick 4 players right there. Don't have to give explanation. Just give us your 4 players. Same thing that chat, guys. Give us your 4 players, and we go from there. Mr. Nartap, you're the first one.
I
Talking
don't know if I'll
about
remember
that
just
one.
by the.
I know. I'm trying to make out all the initials now.
Johnson, Maxstrom, Stolarz, Montembeault, Mackenzie Weigard, Steve Sankos, Ayton, and Philippe Dano.
And how many are we choosing?
4.
4.
4?
Okay, I'll go with Stamkos. I'll go with Stolarz. I'll go with Montembeault and Dano.
All right, Marco.
Oh, okay. This is like a bad board game, like Guess Who or whatever, like I used to play when I was a kid. Okay, I'm going to go with Samuel Montembeault. I think Randy's the only one that remembers that game. Samuel Montembeault. I'll go Kent Johnson, Stolarz, and who's SS? Steven Stamkos. Yeah. So Stamkos, Montembeault, Stolarz, and Johnson.
All right, Stan, you got it. Stan goes Stamkos, Samuel Montembeault, You go with Wigard on that one. And you
you
go
letting
with
me have my vote yet, Coach?
you vote 2 times cents for Son Montembeau. I cannot put him twice, but good try about Montembeau.
If anybody,
Senko's
Can I have
if
my
Montembeau
anybody
in
vote,
thinks
our
Coach?
that,
tap, not in our tap. Senko's Montembeau for N26. Johnson and Dano.
I guess I can.
About that one. Wait a minute, Randy. We're going to go with next one. Billy Montembeau, Senko's Dano. Dano, Senko's and Johnson about that one. And now, Mr. Randy.
Randy, if you
I
choose
think
B1, if you choose B1, you sink Coach's battleship. By the way,
if I think we won. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Montembeau for sure.
Montembeau.
Uyghur for sure. Yeah, Montembeau, Uyghur, Stamkos, and Johnston.
Who's the number 3?
Who you got? You got Uyghur, Montembeau,
Wigger. I
Johnston,
got
and
it.
Stamkos.
Wigger was not sure about Wigger about that one over there.
Uyghur.
Montembeau, Senko's, Wigger, Johnson. Montembeau, Senko's, Wigger, and Johnson. About that one over there. I think we are pretty good about this one over there. So what happening, guys? Montembeau move up with Senko's. That's number 2. Trophée, Johnson. Philippe Dano move up. That's number 3. And Johnson move up about that one. So we have 4 players, guys, move up for the next one, for the next thing. So I'm going to fix this very quickly, guys, if you don't mind. So this is up right there. And then we have Dano move in and with Stankos. About that, the Wigger is passed. That's good for him. Good try, Mr. Randy. And now we have to go now for 2 players right there, guys. You have here, you pick only 2, Mr. Nartap. 2 on that, guys. We're getting close. Semi-final now. Johnson with Montembeau, Stankos, and Philippe Dano, Mr. Nartap.
I'm going to go Stamkos and... Oh, boy. Okay. I'll go with Montembeau.
Montembeau and Stankos in our tap. You're done. Marco.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna make this interesting here. So, and are we allowed to sway the jury, Coach? Like, are we allowed to give a little speech as to why we're choosing? Like,
that's not
I'm
fair.
gonna do it anyways. Even if you say I'm not allowed, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna go Montembeau. I think Montembeau is I think, spoiler alert, he might win this whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. But I would choose Kent Johnson over Stamkos just because I think Nashville is a tire fire altogether. So yes, he's a big part of why that's the case. Like he hasn't lived up to expectations. But Kent Johnson, like Columbus has been pretty good and he's playing with some really good players. So to me, there's like I would expect that Kent Johnson would have a better start to the season than Stamkos. So I'm going to go Kent Johnson, Samuel Montembeau. Lock it in, Regis.
Hey, Marco.
Yeah.
So far, they're not agreeing. So far, it's not going to make a difference.
Okay.
Read the chat.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hate agreeing with the Northcott because I think it gives them a big head, but I'm going to have to agree with it. It's going to be Stamkos and Montembeau to me, and I suspect those 2 will win it without any competition.
It's going to be a tight battle.
All right, guys. But now we have
Stamkos.
2 players right there, guys. Move on. We have it's going to be Stankos versus Montembeau at the end. Let me fix that one. We're not going to go with that one yet, guys. I think last year Marcoux was disagree with the pick of swimming. I cannot remember who it was, by the way, Marcoux, but I still remember you was disagree with most of the people about that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Something I have to remember that one. I have to look about this, but
but I think I agree with
We're going to move to the team now, if you don't mind. And the team are Toronto and St. Louis Blues on that one. So we're going to pick up this one there and one there and that one. There we go. We're going to select this, guys. Toronto and St. Louis Blues, Mr. Tap. They're going to beat for the first time at the edition of the annual Turkey Awards Hockey Nation. Selection, Mr. Tap. You have the first pick.
Short and brief and right to the point. Sorry, Luciano, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right. Don't be surprised, Luciano make a protest, on dirait en français. Disagree with that pick. Stan, go with Toronto right there. Marco.
For sure, my instinct is to say Toronto, right? The only minor hesitation that I have is because of all the injuries that they've had. But even before that, like you know, Toronto and St. Louis, like I understand, like, you know, they had a really strong end to the season, so everybody was expecting them to be very good. But Toronto has been, you know, they've been a great regular season team for at least 7 or 8 years. I think it's 9 years in a row that they've made the playoffs. So it's hard not to say Toronto. The only thing that makes me hesitate a little bit is the injuries. You know, they've had a lot of injuries, guys. But they've played terribly.
So is the St. Louis, though, in all fairness.
St. Louis? What? So who has St. Louis been missing?
Well,
What injuries?
they had Robert Thomas out for a long time.
Really?
Defense, yeah. They had
He
Pareco
play
out for a
about, he
while.
missed maybe 6-7 games. He's my fantasy hockey, if
Yeah.
you want to know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So fair enough. I guess I missed that. So fair enough.
Well,
I'll go with Toronto then. Like I didn't think St. Louis had as many injuries, but if St. Louis was missing Thomas as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Toronto as well.
All right.
If you're going to sit here and tell me that St. Louis has had as bad injuries as Toronto, I'll laugh at
No.
you because
No,
No,
for
no,
sure.
not as
Toronto's lost
bad, but they've
Tanev,
had
Toronto's lost Tanev, Toronto's lost Nyes, Toronto's lost Matthews. You
Stolars.
name it, we've lost. We've still lost. We've had 8 players on our injured reserve list. That's 1/3 of our team.
So,
But
Randy, you go with
they've been
Toronto.
bad. They've been bad. My guess is St. Louis, but I'll be the only one that will say St. Louis.
Yeah, you
But
just
St. Louis
we
to
was
me
going
is-
to go with a sweep Toronto, but now you just stopped the sweep for St. Louis Blues.
I'm not trying to be a homer. I just think St. Louis has been awful. They've been a huge disappointment in my eyes.
All right, so we're going to
But-
go anyway. That's
but
not
I'm the
changing
only one that will
anything.
pick Toronto.
Toronto move is the winner, guys, on
by
this
far, probably.
for this one. Toronto Maple Leafs. Congratulations,
Gobble, gobble.
Luciano. The next one we're going to move on that one, guys, is going to be 2 of them. Montembeault and Stamkos. Mr. Artap, you are the first part right there. This is not going to be more. It's not going to be easy, that one. I think this will be very more close what we think is going to be. Mr. Artap, Montembeault and Stamkos.
I have a hard time.
Yeah, it is a tough one for sure.
It is.
Doesn't help that they're different positions too. It's harder to really compare them that way. But I'll go with Montembeault, and I'll tell you why. It was less expected than Stamkos, because at least we saw with Stamkos last year that there was a regression to his game, and I think it really caught up to him, and so it wasn't as much as a surprise as, let's say, Montembeault was. He was supposed to be our number 1, and Dobash was our number 2, and right now you can't say that. So I'll vote Montembeault.
Marco?
Well, again, I'll do a little bit of a mini protest. I don't think Stamkos deserved to be on the final list. Like, he's part of a bad team, and you're right, Entertap. It's not a surprise. Like, based on how he played last year, was anybody expecting Stamkos to kind of, like, you know, fly off the handle this year? I don't think. I didn't see too many predictions of him doing that. So to me, it's a pretty easy one. Like, I'll vote Montembeault, and for any fan that is either in the chat right now or watches this on playback later, they know that we're a Montreal Canadiens based podcast. So you can't choose the Leafs as team Turkey of the Year award, but then at least we're giving one of our own players the main Turkey.
Because we're fair.
Turkey.
We're fair.
The fair and balanced news
No,
here.
you're not.
Nation, so.
Yes, we are.
All lies. All lies.
Randy?
Yeah, yeah, Uyghur. I still want Uyghur in there. But it's minus 20. I'm sorry. That's bad. I don't care what anyone says.
That's bad. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It is horrible. But he'll be, mark my words, by the end of the year, he'll be snapping it around. The only reason why I'm picking Montembeault here, guys, is because this is a Team Canada goalie from last year. He was on Team Canada during the championships and stuff. It's a huge disappointment this year. I don't know if it's what's going on with him. I was going to ask you guys: is there injury? Do you think it could be an injury right now that's causing trouble?
I think there's two.
Like he's not completely healthy.
I think there's two
No,
factors that some people are talking about. Randy, is the first thing I would say is some people might say that maybe the Olympic thing, maybe like, that was in his head a little bit, like the pressure of having to have a strong start for the Olympics. Like maybe some people say the pressure of that, but then you're not off, like he did get injured in the playoffs last year. Maybe his summer training was a little different this year, and maybe he just wasn't in the same space as last year. So hard to say, right? But there could be different factors there. But and again, guys, we just want to say if Montembeault does win this, we don't want to pile on, right? Like we understand that Montembeault is working really hard to get better. Nothing, sometimes Turkey award goes to maybe players that have a reputation for maybe not working hard or having a bad attitude. I think Sam Montembeault.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. But in the past, when we voted and the eventual winner of the Turkey Award, after we voted him, they started to play better. So it could be a good omen for Montembeault.
The biggest thing I've noticed, and this is coming from a guy outside of Montreal, Montembeault, when he's in there, seems to be fighting the puck. I'm thinking right now it's a confidence issue. He seemed to have lost his confidence. Every time I've seen him, and I've noticed a couple of times, Coach, you said in your games, correct me if I'm wrong, is his glove hand is just not working right now.
Yeah, you're right about
that. He's fighting with the puck.
For sure.
He's fighting with the puck. I think it's a confidence issue, and I think it's got a lot to do with his glove hand. That's why I was asking.
And for the first time in the history of the annual Turkey Awards Hockey Nation, a first player get the two awards. Samuel Montembeault get the player of the NHL and also for the Montreal Canadiens, because we gave an award for the Montreal Canadiens. So I don't think we need to select another player like Samuel Montembeault from Montreal Canadiens. So automatically he becomes the first one. Now we have to go back in the past. Because in the past, guy, we have Josh Anderson. Did it 2 years ago. But we did not give awards for the Montreal Canadiens, only start last year. So Anderson, officially, they never get the second trophy. So Samuel Montembeault, for him, is going to be the winner of the awards tonight, guys. That said, every time we select this, guys, I tell you right now, if you look in the past for the players, check their stat after the Turkey Awards. They always get better and better and better. So hopefully Montembeault, he will do exactly the tradition of what we do. If you want to check that, guys, I'm going to give you that one more time here. Primo was the winner last season for the Montreal, so the first one. But after that, guys, Toronto become the fifth different team, won the awards for the team awards. And then you have here, guys, Petrie, Kokanemi, Anderson, and Swimmen. Anderson, like I mentioned to you guys, did not score a goal until he reached that number. And then we have, of course, swimming, very awful year, but he get better after that. Kokanemi was so much better after that. They have 2 goals on that one, and Petri got traded after the Turkey Award. So at the end of the day, guy was pretty awesome. For that one guy, we're going to send Samuel Montembeau to celebrate. He is right now in Vegas, right here. This is the cheese boss of the tail end. We got that, and we put Montembeau right here instead of that boss for his celebration of that one. And that's conclude, guys, the show of the night. Honestly, we did pretty good overall. Before we leave, we're going to get a little bit more information about what's going on for Montreal tomorrow. Again, the Vegas Golden Knight, and Saturday again Colorado. First, well, we know now who is in the net, so it's easy. I don't think we know exactly the roster on Montreal. Do we know? I don't think so. Do you know?
No, not yet.
Marco?
Not yet.
No, Schmid started last game, but I don't think we know yet.
So tell me what you expect Martin Saint is going to do tomorrow in our tap as a roster to keep TC play or not. If he play, who remove? And on the defenseman, what do you expect on that one for the Martin St. Louis edition? Again, the Vegas, we're already on Montembeau and Tobias Saturday. And what would be your prediction of the game?
It'll be a tough game, obviously. Like we know that Vegas now, especially with the return of Stone again, will add to their completion of their lines. I mean, they're going to go with Montembeau Montreal, so I don't think I hope he's not watching our show tonight. Nothing personal, but I don't think we instilled any confidence in him if he is watching it. But you know what? Hopefully they have a little bit of momentum after the last 2 games and they're able to keep it close. I think they have to play a solid road game. I would expect probably Jack Eye draws back in this game. Question is who sits, right? Do you think it'll be Struble or possibly Carrier? Like that's also a consideration. It wouldn't be a bad idea to give him one night where he sort of collects his thoughts and watches, and hopefully gets his game.
The problem about that, and I'll tell you, Carrier is a right defenseman. And
I know.
They don't have. They use him on the end of the game, and they use him on the PK. If Cooley was there,
definitely.
I would say to you, he may be right, but this I don't think so. And that's the reason I could be wrong here, but that's
no. It's probably
Struble.
Probably Struble.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Go ahead, Marco. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can finish your thought, Randy. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if it's not broken, why fix it?
Well, because that's a good point, but I think so. They bring in Engstrom.
You just beat Utah.
Yeah, but like I said, don't be fooled by the result, right? Like there's a lot of things in that game. I think that St. probably wouldn't be super happy about. So I think you're right. Jack Eye comes back in. To be honest, like I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they just go back to the original lineup. They keep Struble and Jack Eye in against Vegas, and maybe you bring Engstrom against Colorado. Less of a physical style. Like Colorado can still play physical, but not as heavy and physical as Vegas. We don't know, right? But that's what I would do anyways. I would maybe just go back to Struble and Jack Eye for tomorrow. I think it's a good opportunity to bring in Texier, bring in a different vibe. You sit Davidson after after not his best game. So bring in Texier. And, again, expecting, Montembeau's had a little bit of time to reset. The key thing, guys, like, remember when we did our last stream, the turning point of the game from my perspective was the fact that Montreal was able to score the first goal. Same thing against Utah, right? Like, that's, I think, the key for Montreal's confidence right now is to be able to score the first goal. So what I'm going to be looking for very early I would love it that if they could just let Montembeault get a couple of easy shots to kind of feel the puck and get into the game early. I think that would be huge for his confidence. So to me, I think it's going to be really important the first 10 minutes. Vegas is a hostile environment. The Bell Center is probably the hardest place to play in the NHL. Vegas is not too far behind. Very tough barn, very intimidating, very loud, and they come out hard usually. So beginning of the game is going to be really critical for Montreal.
What is the record of Vegas the last 16 game?
Not amazing.
Not good.
Not
as good as
Not good.
They're
5,
3,
6,
2, and 5.
5, 6, and 5 for
Yeah,
Vegas.
they're
At
3
home,
and
guys,
5.
at home they are 5, 3, and 4. What is the record on overtime for Vegas and after that?
I think they only have they only have one win in overtime. I think that I
They
can
have
remember.
8 time on overtime, and they are 7. Now they are 8 time on overtime, and they are 2 and 6.
Oh, 2 wins. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
3, 2, and 5 in their last 10 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not. I was going to comment. They're not very good, and they have not been. There's a reason why the Edmonton Oilers are still in the playoff hunt because
And
they have
Montreal's
not pulled away.
historically, Montreal's done pretty well in Vegas too, right? But
Yeah,
again,
didn't they win last year in Vegas?
yeah,
We
they
beat them
usually
last year,
play
didn't
pretty
we?
well
Yeah,
in
they
Vegas.
did. They had a successful.
I
road
thought
trip
so.
there. Yeah.
And we're probably not going to talk before the Colorado game, but I don't hate the move of having Dobesh play Colorado. He had a really big win there last year in Colorado as well. Different team though, like different world altogether. But I can understand. I'm seeing some people say, why not play Dobesh back to back? Like, get real, guys. That's in 2025, unless it's like an emergency here, like you're not playing goalies back to back. I think it's good timing to put in Monty. They're going to need Montembeault, guys, if they're going to be a playoff team. He's going to need to be a player for them. So let's just hope that time to reset, and hopefully he's not too full of stuffing for tomorrow in front of the crease.
Good point about that.
Whatever.
Again, that's what we got on that one. A lot of people in the chat. Thanks so much for everybody. We release all of you guys. Great job to see all of you. Randy, was glad to see you again. Glad to be a part of the show. Hopefully see you around. Marco, going to see next week at the show. I think they played Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So we're going to have Wednesday.
You
And
can
then
bring me back anytime you want, Coach.
Enjoy the rest of your trip in the Bahamas there, Randy.
Yeah, I will. Hey, Coach, bring me back anytime. You can just send me email. I will come anytime you need me.
Awesome. We'll definitely bring you back. Mr. Tap, Sunday night.
Always a pleasure, Coach. We wait and see what happens this weekend.
Awesome. It was a great to see all of you. I will to say to you, have an amazing, great night. I can wait to see you next time. Until then, my friend, we wish you an amazing, happy Thanksgiving for a couple more hours. And tomorrow, be careful with the shopping for tomorrow. Be careful with your wallet, by the way. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks so much. It was, guys, all the three, the great panel of the Hockey National Show, the great night of the 5th annual awards, Turkey Awards. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you like it. It's just a night where the hockey fans does not watch too much football, and they enjoy talking about hockey. I think it would be good to talk about something. We don't talk enough time on the NHL team. Most of the people come here talking about the Montreal Canadiens, so I maybe touch 10%, 20% NHL. I should sometimes touch 40, 50%, but I think it was a good night to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, and maybe Jim Beringer is going to come back very soon talking about NHL and what's going on around the league. We'll be back tomorrow night or afternoon at 4 o'clock. And we do a double header tomorrow. We'll be right back after the game tomorrow night. We're going to Fun Friday night or Laval Rocket. I don't know yet. We're going to do something, guys, of course, like we do. And Saturday, guys, for 3 o'clock p.m., we'll be awake here. We're going to the game on Montreal Canadiens. We're going to do another double header. And Sunday, we're going to go on the red lights. For the show in the morning, we'll be live Saturday, Sunday for the French people. We're going to talk about Montreal Canadiens. So don't miss it, guys. We don't stop. Yeah, Thanksgiving in Thailand, we just eat cheese. That's pretty much what we do here. No turkey. It was fun to see all of you. Thanks so much, everybody. RJ Calabro news and update, and all the people knocked the door with us tonight with a great likes. Glad to see some of you celebrate the Thanksgiving, and thanks for your participation on the Hockey Nation show. The only reason we get better slowly, populate the right way is because you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Thanks so much, everybody. RJ, Billy, M&M, Guy, PS, N26. Always a pleasure. Ovidio, welcome back again. Thank you. So many people in the chat, guys. Thanks so much. The regular people, you know who you are. I missed one awards, guys. I really apologize. I'm going to talk about this next time. Be well, BL. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what? Someone said 2025. Thanks, everybody. Of course, the Hockey Nation, the Hab Nation, and all the animals in the kingdom of the Thailand want to tell you one thing. We love you, friends. Don't miss my short video every day or my long video every day. We produce them. It's one thing to learn and become a member of the Hockey Nation Show channel, or become a member of the Patreon. We're going to build more stuff for all of you. And if you want to have some kind of exclusive, this is the way that keep the lights on and that keep up to feed all the animals and the kingdom of Thailand. Until next time, my friend, have a great night. Thanks so much, LDP. And RJ Calabro, thanks so much. Ovidio, my friend, thanks so much also. À la prochaine. We are